Thank you, Jon. I'm delighted now to introduce our second honorary doctor, Malcolm Garrett. As a graphic design student at Manchester Polytechnic in the mid-1970s, Malcolm Garrett met a few lads with spiky hair and narrow-legged trousers who called for cultural revolution in a way that demanded my participation. That participation took the form of his own esoteric graphic system for those lads who formed the band Buzzcocks. Through posters, badges and record sleeves, Malcolm branded the punk group using a groundbreaking graphic language built on bright colours and geometric design. Integrity was sacrosanct, he remembers. If any image were to be imposed from outside, this would not feel genuine. My task was to become a visual mouthpiece from the inside. As design director of Assorted Images, the design company he co-founded, Malcolm went on to create iconic album artwork for chart toppers such as Duran Duran, Culture Club, Simple Minds and Peter Gabriel. Along with his contemporaries Peter Saville and Neville Brody, he established a new design-driven approach to pop music which continues to reverberate today and then he moved on. Always ahead of the curve, Malcolm was one of the first British designers to focus on interactive design. In 1990, he created a map-based guide for a museum exhibition of sports equipment, and so began his reinvention as a high-tech visionary. He has since created innovated digital entertainment and communications for musicians, as well as corporate clients such as Barclays and Guinness, working towards what he calls a rich, interactive, but totally televisual experience. Technology, he remembers, horrified a lot of people in my industry. They were secretly hoping that computers would go away. For me, it was where it was going. 20 years on, and we're still getting there. I now invite the Chancellor to confer upon Malcolm Garrett an honorary doctorate of the University of the Arts, London.
Last time I was in this room, Iggy and the Stooges were on the stage. I never thought I'd be following Iggy Pop and Jon Snow. Anyway, I prepared some notes. I've got 2 minutes to say something profound and inspiring, or at the very least something reasonably interesting. Well, of course, I'd first like to say a huge thank you to UAL. I'm delighted and honoured to accept this award today, especially from such a celebrated educational institution. But I'd like to start with a short story. On the tube the other day, I overheard the conversation of 2 recently graduated students. Obviously, they were talking about texting, when one said to the other, "Are you still grieving things?" Which I thought was a wonderful self-referential phrase. But in answer, the other asked, in all earnestness, "Did you know that FAB and Brill are abbreviations?" Why I'm telling you this is to illustrate that everyday language, and by extension everyday design, for much of design is the expression of language, is always evolving, and it embodies both the heritage of the past and the shaping of the future. It's now a good few years since my own graduation from Manchester School of Art, but in the intervening years I've worked with a number of UAL schools, both directly and with many individual members of teaching staff. Far too many to recall specific instances here. Except to say that for a long period of time, in the 90s, I was an external examiner at Central St Martin's, sorry to LCC. I supported their fledgling postgraduate interactive media courses, which were helping to define what that area of design could actually be about, and how art schools should reflect and respond to an exciting new discipline that was still in its infancy. It's true to say I probably learned as much during that period, from both students and staff, as the students themselves did. I also note with pleasure that many of the students from those courses have since gone on to achieve great personal and professional success. And greedily, I even employed a few of them myself to continue my own education. In November this year, I take up a 2-year post as Master of the Faculty of Royal Designers for Industry. Part of my role will be to professionally represent the 130 or so designers who have achieved this distinction, and to bring their experience to bear on the support of good design in industry, in government, and in education, where it all starts. In this context, I see this renewed link with UAL as something that helps our aim of reconnecting working designers with design education, in a way that will really work for the design industry today and for what design can do tomorrow. It's now also up to you to help shape that tomorrow. Thank you.
I call upon the Chancellor to confer the title of Professor